Hello guys, in this video I will show you two main ways how to log activity with a well-known package, Spatie Laravel activity log. The package is really popular and it seems to be very easy to use, so activity log and then you get the activities, but actually when you try to use it in real projects you get a lot of questions. So what to log exactly, how, what methods are required, what are optional, and what would affect viewing the logs later. And this video is the answer to the comment I got recently after I reviewed Spatie Query Builder package with example video. Antoine asked for something like that for Spatie Laravel activity log. So there you go. This will be an example of t-shirt eShop where we log something like adding products to the cart, for example, when the color and the size is chosen, or log product details change when the admin changed them, like product description or something like that. As a result, in the database we will have activity log table something like this, and I will explain various details and a lot of things like did you know along the way. But actually this video will be an excerpt from a longer video I've put on Laravel Daily.com as premium video. So this is my idea for now. Whenever I go deeper dive into some Laravel package or concept, I'll probably put it for premium members on Laravel Daily if it's 30 minutes or longer or something like that. So in this case, I went 26 minutes and realized that it took me almost a week to prepare everything as I wanted, so I cannot publish it all for free on YouTube. So in this video, I will show you two ways to log things in activity log. So this was exactly the question by Antoine: where to place the logging, is there best practice, and what to do with causer and custom messages. So that will be in the video. But in the premium full version, you will get the link to the repository. Also, I will show you the logging of events not related to eloquent models, like how to log login, someone logs in or registers, that can be also activity log. And also I'll show you three ways to view the activity logs. Here's an example on Laravel Breeze I've built myself. And then also I'll show you two packages to do similar things. So now let me show you activity log in action. The first example of activity log I will show is pretty straightforward. While adding the product to the cart, we have activity log, which is just helper of the package, log the text, and then on top you may add additional data. In this case, this happens if the cart product is existing already. Otherwise, similar activity log just with quantity 1. On the website it looks like this. We choose the color, we choose the size, we add a product to cart, and then if we look at the database, and we have this new record in the activity log table. Description, subject with subject ID, and then the properties as JSON. In here I want to emphasize a few things. First, you may want to do that shorter. So for example, performed on has an alias of just on. Caused by can be shortened by just by. Or if you don't provide caused by, it will be automatically the logged in user. So in this case, we don't even need to provide that. And also in the log text, you may use placeholders like subject name or causer name like this. So subject name in this case will be replaced with product name, which comes from this, from on method. So now if we try to add one more of the same item, which is black and S size, in the database we have this, product classic cotton t-shirt, quantity increased with user ID successfully set, and in the properties JSON we have new quantity as updated value. One more thing I want to emphasize here: in the JSON you can see size small and color black in text, as well as product name here. So this is kind of a tip for the future. In properties JSON, you should probably save the text values that you will want to see when viewing the logs. We'll talk about that later in this video, instead of just saving IDs of size ID, color ID, or product ID. You may do that both in addition to that, but generally, in most cases, log viewers would be much more efficient if you just view the text instead of searching for them and doing additional SQL queries for size IDs or something like that. So that's why in here for color and size, we do save names already from the beginning instead of just color and size ID. The first two examples of activity log was actively logging something, but there's the opposite kind of event listener way, is to log something automatically on Eloquent model. So for example, in the product admin panel, the admin changes some description. For example, let's add a dot update product information, and then in the database, in the activity log, we have two new rows. I intentionally left both event model approach and active approach. So if we take a look at product controller, this is the thing that we already saw. Activity log with properties. So nothing really too fancy here. Updated fields are coming from request validated, which is this line in the database. But also you may do something like this automatically from the model. So in the product model, you may add logs activity trait from the package, this one, and then you may define what to log and when to log. So get activity log options, you return log options defaults, and then chain multiple methods. You may not do that, but there are multiple ways how to customize what and when to log. So for example, log only name description price is active. So for example, if someone changes other fields, they would not go into log. And then log only dirty means that it will show in the properties only the field that was actually changed. So in here you see description and you don't see unchanged columns like name or price. Also, it automatically fills in the description, which is updated, and event name is in the same value in this case, but you may customize it. So if we take a look at the documentation of logging model events, this is pretty big page with a lot of methods like log only. If we scroll down, let's take a look at the features like record events you may enable or disable. The Eloquent events like created, updated, deleted, and others. You can customize the description like this from updated to something like this, which may be beneficial for the same reason I mentioned before. So the text of the log should be as is in the log viewer and shouldn't need any transformations along the way. So instead of just updated, the description should be more human friendly and you can customize it here. Also, there are methods like don't log if attributes changed only, and probably the opposite one. There's log only, and you can also specify username as relationship, for example. So yeah, quite a few customizations, but the question is when you would use this way. Personally, in my experience, I would do that pretty rarely because automatic logging on the Eloquent model means that wherever that activity comes from, the result would be roughly the same and kind of automatic. But in many cases, I prefer to log the activity from different places, for example, in a different way. So what if product is updated by admin, or what if product is updated by, I don't know, warehouse, for example, or what if product stock is decreased automatically by someone making a purchase. That's another case, but technically on Eloquent level, it's the same meaning of decreasing product stock. And also quite often the information of updated record is not only that record, but also some context from specific request controller or something which is outside of the same Eloquent model. And the final argument against this approach, I'm not totally against that. In some cases it may be okay, but the behavior is hidden. So if someone joins your team, for example, and wants to see what is happening, that activity would be logged not actively from controller, but someone would need to know that there's a trait on the model that logs the data. It's the same as Eloquent observers. Some people don't like Eloquent observers as pattern and prefer events, calling the events and then listen to events actively, because then future developers reading that controller, for example, would see that there's event happening or activity happening, so in a way fewer surprises for the developers. But this can be also classified as personal preference. So yeah, this is the end of free YouTube version of this video. The full 26-minute video is on Laravel Daily.com for premium members, where you will get the repository, a few more examples of logging, and how to view logs with your custom code or some packages. The link to that will be in the description below, and let me know what you think about this format of free and premium content. I'm trying to strike the balance between the two. So let me know in the comments below what you think and what you think about generally Spatie activity log. Do you use it? And what are your questions or caveats from using that? That's it for this time, and see you guys in other videos.